Hello everyone. Today we're going to be working on our Wayne Thiebaud dessert inspired drawings. So on a small sheet of paper we're going to be doing some sort of a dessert drawing, whether it's the tiered stacked cakes or a slice of cake. And you do need to add just a small amount of background details. So something for the dessert to rest on. So mine's resting on a cake stand. I also included a horizon line so that it creates a table space for it to rest on. And then I did a pennant in the background just for a little bit of like a party detail. The next step is going to be to transfer our image onto our foam. So this is a really thin sheet of foam. And what we're going to do is we're going to tape it on, and using a pen, we're going to retrace our drawing and transfer the image to the foam. So what you'll want to do, I'm going to turn it over. I think our foam is just like slightly smaller than the paper. So just secure it in a few different spots. That way when you're tracing, it doesn't move on you. Okay. Now, you want to be really careful when you're tracing to push firmly with the pen, but you don't want to push so hard that you're going to be poking a hole through it. So you're going to carefully transfer your drawing by tracing every line. Oh, my pen broke. Okay, here we go. And I'm just going to show you. You can see that it's starting to make an image on the foam below. So I'm going to pause and continue my tracing. All right, after you've traced your entire drawing in pen, you're going to carefully remove your tape. And it would be a good idea to label the back of your foam. I would write your name on a piece of tape and see how I'm doing it on the table, because I don't want to press in anything that might accidentally show. All right, there we go. So you can very lightly see the indentation. Now this is not quite deep enough yet for it to make a very clean print. So the next step is to go back over your lines, pushing a little more firmly, and you can feel it with your finger and feel when it is a little bit deeper of a ridge. Again, you don't want to push hard enough to poke a hole. So it's like the Goldilocks rule, you know, not too much, not too little. You want to find just the right pressure. And you're going to retrace your entire image carefully. For our next step, we have traced our design. So we transferred the impression once, traced over with the pen, and we can feel that nice texture. We're now going to get ready to print it. So you will need a placemat. You will need an ink tray. The ink trays might look like this when you first get them. They'll have a bead of ink that needs to be rolled out. When the ink is rolled out, it looks like this. I'm going to add a little bit more to my tray. We are using printing ink. So it looks like paint, but it is a little bit stickier, and it's going to work really good when we use our brayer. So brayer is the special name for this printmaking roller. We're going to roll our ink, and it makes that nice sticky sound. And then this is a really big plate. It's a 9x12 plate. So you're going to have to roll over it and re-ink your brayer a few times so you can get all the way across. And this is going to be our first layer. We're going to have multiple layers for this project. Now I'm going to show you up close. If it's really light like this, that means that's not enough ink. You want a good amount of ink, so not too much, again, not too little. A lot of this is the Goldilocks method. You have to find that just right amount. And if you pull the brayer in opposite directions, you can kind of get some good coverage. And there we go. Okay, when you feel like it's got good coverage, you're gonna pick up your sheet of paper. These are 12 by 15 inches. So it's gonna create a really big border around the design. So I'm gonna carefully lift up using my fingertips, turn it over, and you wanna center it in the middle of the paper so you have the same amount of white paper on each side. Gently press it down, and then, I hear a hair. Ooh, goodness. Then you're gonna carefully flip it like a pancake, and using both hands flat, don't use your nails, don't dig or gouge, but flat hands, rub in circles, make sure you can feel all four edges, rub in the middle. Okay, and let's pull the print. So pulling the print means grab the corners, peel them apart. Okay, and you check out your print, and you want to be able to see all of the white lines really crisp. So all the white lines look good. I do have a few spots where it kind of made it an odd texture, but that doesn't bother me too much because the white lines look really good. Before you take this on the drying rack, you need to sign your print. So we have to mark our prints. In this bottom left-hand corner, you're going to write a fraction. So this is the first print, so I'm going to write the number 1, and then I'm going to do a slash, and I'm going to put the number 4 here because we're going to make a total of 4 prints. If for some reason you think you might make more prints, maybe leave that blank for now and you can come back and fill it in later. And the bottom right side, you're going to sign first name, last name in cursive. That is your signed print. You're going to let that dry, so take it to the drying rack. This is going to get wiped off, so you can run it underwater. You want to wash it, and then you want to dry it thoroughly before you make your next prints. If you're using pink again, obviously you don't need to wash it. Just roll over with your brayer, and you can make your next print. But I'm going to switch colors, so I'm going to wash mine real quick. I washed off my plate, and you can see it's still wet. So to wash it, I just laid it in the sink, turned the water on, and rubbed it gently with both hands. Now I'm going to take some paper towel and dry it. It must be dry before you print again because the printmaking ink reacts with water. It's water soluble. So if you put ink on it while it's wet, your brayer's going to scooch around. It's not going to work nicely. So you can repeat those steps as needed to make your 4 prints. At this point, we've gotten our first phase of printing done. So we have 1 color prints currently. And remember, our goal was to get 4 nice prints done. So best quality that you can have. And you can see I do have a few extra here. Our next step is we're going to be cutting up our foam piece so that we can take sections of it, print in a different color, and start layering to create a multicolored print. So to do that, you want to think ahead and think, do I want to cut the entire dessert out as one piece? Do I want to cut the dessert out separate from the cake plate? Or do you want to cut the table out? Or do you want to cut the background out? So I think for me, for this first one, I'm going to cut the stand and the cake out. And you just want to do it really, really carefully. And it's gonna be important you save every single foam scrap. So you save the piece you're cutting out plus all the background pieces. Because our goal is to make a 3 or 4 color print. So that means that you want to be able to print a lot of different sections in different colors. And so I'm cutting either on that line or really close to that line. Best I can. I'm gonna pause and finish this up real quick. Okay, so I finished cutting around my cake. And you can see I have this little scrap here that did rip out. I could tape that back in place if I wanted to print my table. But for now, I'm just gonna set that aside. And I'm gonna set up my printing station again. So I'm gonna be inking just the cake and the plate. And I'm gonna grab my materials like that. So I have my placemat, I have my plate, I have my inking materials. So I have ink. Okay. Remembering we want it to be not too thick, not too thin. You want that nice sticky coverage. And we're gonna roll. So we get a nice even coverage. Okay. And what I realized last time was because my messy mat or my placemat gets a little messy, I don't want that on my final. So I moved this to my stool so it's out of the way. I'm gonna grab one of my prints. Now this gets a little tricky because we're gonna try to line it up the best we can. Okay. Pat it down, pancake flip, rub the back. You should be able to feel the outline of your piece. Nice flat hand, good pressure. And pull. There we go. So now we got a 2-color print. Let's see what a 3-color print looks like. Before we start our 3-color prints, I do want to show you a difference. So this would be a good line up. You can still see the white lines from the original 1-color print, and it means that I did a nice job lining up the cake with the original cake. And you can see like the good quality of color. It's not spotty, it's not splotchy. Now, here's one that did not line up very well. You don't see the white lines very much, and it had too much ink. So too much ink means it's gonna flood all of your lines and you lose all that detail. So even though the colors look pretty, we lost a lot of detail on that one. So we do wanna be careful about lining things up when we're continuing with these multicolored prints. So for the next few prints, you can decide, maybe each layer is going to be something separate that you're going to cut out. I think for right now, I'm going to cut off my cake stand, and I can print my cake separately. And you can do as many colors as you want. You can do as many layers as you want. Just, have a plan as you go and keep all of your pieces. Even if you think you won't need it, you might change your mind down the road. And so it's important to keep all of your pieces. Okay, so now we have these plus the background piece. So I'm just gonna be printing this next. Okay, materials are ready. Ink up my roller. You can see I made a green. It's blue and yellow. Set those aside. Put the placemat on your seat. Grab your current print and repeat those same steps again, lining it up super careful. Flip it, rub it. And pull. There we go. Now we have a 3-color print. So you can continue this process. You could cut each of the layers off. You could cut some of the pennants in the background, cut the table, and print lots of different colors. So you could end up with a 6 or 7 color print if you really want. Our goal is to make a 3-color print and a 4-color print, but you're welcome to go beyond that. Enjoy printmaking.